I've been getting a lot of questions lately about winter and what do you need to do to prepare your goats or your shelter or any of that for winter. And the answer is, well, not a ton. Goats can handle winter really well, especially if your temperature in your area is a gradual change. So if it's starting to, gradually change temperature from warmer summer to fall to winter, goats will develop their nice winter coat and they will handle the cold really well. What you don't want to do is throw a coat on them because that can impede their ability to kind of get their own really nice winter coat in. So what you're going to see, especially if you live in colder areas, we're in Texas where it's still, 90 degrees every day. But your goats will develop a really nice, thick, fluffy kind of cashmere coat, and that will help keep them warm during the winter. But in the meantime, while they are developing that, you might see them shiver, and that's okay. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong. That just means that they are developing their winter coat and their body is acclimating. Oh, you're getting rut smelled all over you. Hi, Wald. We come in the boys' pen to shoot a video and we end up smelling like rut. The most important thing you can do to stop it. Most important thing that you can do to prepare your goats for winter is just have a good shelter. So with a good shelter, you want a nice 3-sided structure with your ventilation up high. You don't want any kind of ventilation down low because what they need is protection from the wind and the rain. So if you have your ventilation up high, that's perfect. That means that all your ammonia smell from urine and all that can escape and they're not being trapped in there with that. And they're not getting that breeze directly on them. So goats can handle cold weather really fine. What they can't handle is being wet and windy. So that is when they can get sick from that. So we want to make sure that we are keeping them dry, have a place where they can get completely out of the rain so that they are not getting wet and getting chilled. You do not need a heat lamp. You do not need a heat plate. You don't need any of that. They're actually pretty dangerous and I really don't recommend them. If you have a kid that is born during the winter and they get cold, bring them inside for a few minutes. I just would urge you to not use heat lamps if you can. Please don't pee on yourself if I'm right here. Another thing is hay. Just make sure that they have constant access to hay. A good rule of thumb is about 3% of their body weight every day. The hay is like a little furnace for inside of their body. They will just keep regenerating heat the more that they are eating. Another thing to make sure you're paying attention to from now is their body condition score. Their body condition score should be about a 2.5 to 3.5. A fatter goat is going to be a warmer goat, but a thinner goat will get chilled and sicker quicker than a fat goat will. So from now, I would start adding extra calories in if you can, making sure that your goat's body condition score again is about 2.5 to 3.5, so they're nice and round and fat. Fat isn't bloat, it's just a nice healthy belly. Another thing to make sure you're paying attention to, lice and mites will scale up exponentially. This is what happens when you have boys. They just sit there and peeing on their faces. Aries, don't watch him. You don't need to learn this behavior. Lice and mites will tick up exponentially when it is wintertime. They love that thick cashmere coats that your goats will develop. So make sure that we are keeping an eye on parasites and we are treating as needed for lice, mites, and other parasites. The parasites in the environment do go down, but they are not completely eradicated. So make sure that we're still keeping an eye on their FOMACHA scores and their health and all of that. But as far as winter goes, nice bedding. We like straw bedding. You can either use a deep litter method for straw or whatever bedding you choose, or clean it out regularly. You can't use both because that just is not going to work. So pick one, deep litter method or clean it out regularly. Nice bedding when they need it, and just a good 3-sided structure that has ventilation up high and a place for them to get out of the rain, and they'll be good.